All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Dark Room Podcast. My name is Adam.
And I am Nick. We are just two graduates of the photography program at Humber College. It's a 2-year program. We just finished up this past week. And a little bit about myself and how I got into photography. I always had an interest as a kid, and a couple of my friends, were also into it. Initially, it was videography, making little movies as a kid. Always being a little too ambitious, trying to make some VFX, whatnot, and generally not being able to do that because we were pretty young and didn't have the software to do it. But that's okay. Anyway, so in high school, I took a media arts course, and that, I got to explore photography a bit more in that class. And from then on, that's when I decided I was doing photography. I was going to go to school for that. And that's what I did. I went to Humber, met Adam, and it was love at first sight.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, I was gonna say something smart, but it just blanked. You know what? I think it was the setup. I was just thinking about our setups that we have. So yeah, we're in COVID times right now. We got to do this virtually. I have Nick here on my phone. We're on a FaceTime call. You're probably gonna see people walking in the background here. My family. I've got a diffuser set up above me. Very janky, but it works, right? Like this nice soft lighting. We got it. So yeah, anyways, I was going to talk a bit about myself. I started university at Ryerson. I was studying accounting and finance, which ended up being extremely boring and very hard. Don't recommend if it's hard. If you think it's hard, trust me, don't take it. So I dropped out after a year and a half. I was a little desperate, kind of worried, right? No plan for the future. So I was like, got to get on that. I had bought a camera before, a couple months beforehand. It was like a Canon T6i, like a Rebel. It was a crop sensor. Finally upgraded for the photography program at Humber to a full frame DSLR, Canon 6D Mark II. That's what we're recording on right now. So again, Nick said, I met him there. He tells the story actually the best. I'll get him to tell the whole story right when I'm done. And yeah, now we've graduated from the photography program, 2 years long. I myself am continuing in marketing, trying to get the degree for another 4 years of school. That's going to be fun. Also, fun fact, I own a Subaru Crosstrek. It's hyper blue. I love it so much that I have business cards literally with the color code on it. Love it. And I'm 6'4" tall. Tall boy.
Lanky boy.
Well, yeah, that too.
I'm not quite that tall, just to be clear here. 5'11". It's not that bad.
Yeah.
So close. Anyway, okay. The story of how Adam and I met. It's a beautiful one, I think. It was first day of school. Don't know anyone. I walk into class, history of photography. I see Adam there, and he's smiling. And I'm like, boom, that guy. I'm going to be his friend. So then I walk over, sit beside him. We start chatting a little. And then the teacher asks us to find a photo of a photographer that inspires us and present it to the class and explain why it inspires us and what made us want to get into photography. So I start looking, and for those of you who are photography fans, you most likely watch Peter McKinnon. So he was my go-to photographer. And I'm looking, and then I look over at Adam's screen, and he's looking at Peter McKinnon too. From then on, I knew we'd click.
Oh yeah, it
inseparable.
was great. Yeah. So yeah, continuing on that's kind of our inspiration for this whole podcast. Peter McKinnon himself has his own with his friend Maddie. You guys probably know that already. Yeah, and I mean the whole joke started off in our commercial class, where one of our teachers, we were doing an introduction again, first day of class in like another semester though. That was our first time seeing that teacher, so we were introducing ourselves, and like the second I spoke, he said, "Wow, that guy, he's got a radio voice." And then we memed on it a little bit during the rest of our time at Humber. And then there came the idea. Podcast is perfect. We get some good mics and let's make it sound nice. We got a good podcast going.
Exactly. I mean, let's be real. It would have sounded nice regardless, for Adam at least.
Yeah.
My voice, a little bit higher, but that's what we got the Blue Yeti for. Sponsor us, please.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
So what can you expect from this podcast? I'd say we like to talk about tech. Obviously, we have a nice education in photography, so camera news, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be on it. Myself, I'm into automotive stuff, so I would definitely bring up some car stuff. Love it. And I'm into like tech stuff too. And Nick is, I think, too, a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely good to talk about tech stuff. Not much of a car guy, so, I can let Adam just kind of take over and cruise with that one.
Oh,
Be
man.
ready for the cringy jokes as well. That's a must between us. Yeah,
I mean, like, don't worry. We're going to get better at this. The setups are going to get better. We're going to have like the whole red theme going because it's a dark room, right? Dark room. Boys in a dark room. That always goes well. And in any situation, right? So we're going to upgrade it. Things are going to get better. And we just hope to continue it. We want to keep it going through the summer, through school, all this stuff. We just want to keep it going. And I mean, hopefully we get people listening. That's going to be cool, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And, all goes well. We're probably going to try and get some guests on here every now and then. Some teachers that we studied with at Humber. Some legends, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the only way you can define some of them. Which you guys are going to come to realize once we have them on the podcast.
Hell yeah. We have a lot of stories from school just to pile on top of the rest of the new stuff that we want to go through. So yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys like it. And, oh, right, we should mention our schedule. We're thinking of doing this weekly, every Friday, maybe. So hopefully we can keep that going. I mean, it's doable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should be fine.
All right, well, thanks for listening, everyone. And be sure to tune in next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.